Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a trip down memory lane. I've been handed a book here which we're going to be going through. In it, we're going to be picking out a few of the looks that kind of became a trend and you guys kind of said was a standout moment in my career. I'm going to be talking a little bit behind the scenes, how that became a trend, how I executed it, and also how you guys can maybe create this at home. So let's get into it. Alright, so just so you guys know, I haven't seen any of these looks or any of these images yet, so this is a big kind of surprise to me. The first one, Katy Perry. This picture actually became one of the most liked pictures on her Instagram at the time. I think it was even more than her engagement picture. It was the long kind of wavy undone style. We were on set of a photo shoot. Her hair was just very natural, soft, undone wave. We did kind of like a beachy, sexy girl wave. It had the longer curtain bangs in, a bit of a darker root, but still with the blonde. And everyone, I think, just really enjoyed seeing Katy with longer hair again. It was kind of fun moment. She'd really committed to the short hair for a while, and then she was kind of stepping into a new era, going into the longer lengths. It was a really fun music video we did. It was called Nothing's Really Over, and we created quite a few kind of longer hair moments. Katy is always fun, always up for creating a different kind of look or a different character. I remember it was a boiling hot day, and we were in this little camper van, but we definitely had fun with the wigs. This wig actually didn't arrive. The wig that I was supposed to use never arrived. It was coming in from New York and it didn't make the cut. It didn't arrive in time, so I remember last minute having to use a different wig. It was much longer and I cut it and kind of laid it out. I just put a really sexy kind of loose wave in there. We did the curtain bangs, a little bit of a texturizing cream, and then I put some pop and lock throughout the ends. It's a Colorwell kind of shellac to give it a nice shine. And I just think it looks super effortless. Hung did her makeup and it was really light, and I think people just love seeing that really pretty soft girl vibe. All right, next look. Oh, this was a really special moment. A fellow Brit, Adele for the Grammys, and I'd never worked with Adele. I got the call to work with Adele, and obviously she's an amazing artist. I actually went around the house and we kind of, had a chat. We sat down with a few mood boards and I kind of gave her a little bit of an idea about what I was thinking with the hair, and I looked at the dress. Because when you're working with someone for the first time, you want to make sure that, you're on the same kind of page, and especially for something like the Grammys, which this was for. It's a big red carpet, it's a big moment. She was performing several times that night. This was actually the night that she started the George Michael song and then stopped it. And I remember sitting in the dressing room going, wait, is this happening? I think everyone was. But she's such a boss. She, was like, I want to do this well. And she restarted the music and, killed it. But I really loved this red carpet look because it was actually just a really soft, sexy, elegant hairdo. I actually set the hair on heated rollers, so it had a really nice bounce. And it had that kind of Hollywood volume and wave, but it wasn't too curly. I actually used like a hairpiece, a padding on the back, so it kind of created this kind of silhouette where it came out. So even though it was a pin do, it wasn't flat to a head. I wanted it to have some volume and height throughout the back. It was actually quite a stressful time because my agent at the time double booked me. Usually for red carpet you tend to do one person, but she double booked me. I don't know how this happened, but she booked me with J-Lo and Adele at the same time. And I remember saying, how am I going to do two people? And we were both committed, so we didn't want to kind of let anyone down. So I remember having to get a motorbike, picked up from one place to another so I could do them both. It was quite a stressful day. I remember I had my first panic attack ever thinking about it because I was trying to figure out how I could do it. I was still relatively new to Hollywood. I obviously wanted to make it all work and couldn't, but then ended up kind of, I guess, where there's a will, there's a way. Everyone was really supportive, and Adele's an amazing person to work with, and honestly, just to be there and hear her sing and win those awards, it was so well deserved. It was a really, really special night. Alrighty then, what's next? I love this one. This is Christina Aguilera's hair for The Voice. Now, I just moved to America. My first gig was The Voice. So I started doing Christina Aguilera's hair. I got the call. I remember thinking to myself, I can do this. Christina Aguilera, the iconic voice, the iconic legend that she is. Got the call and I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? So I turned up to The Voice. We had 2.5 hours for glam. She got me in probably the last 20 minutes before a live show. But But you know what? We did the look, we killed it, she loved it. Live TV is always really crazy and busy. I remember thinking about when she did all the dirty era. I loved all of the, you know, bits she used to add to hair and accessories, and I was really inspired by that. So we did this really beautiful lavender wig, and we did like a braid down the middle and a braid either side and put hair hoops in. Fun fact about this is I was actually adding the hair hoops in right up until she walked on set. We were kind of running out of time, and I was adding these hair hoops in the car on the way over there, and then as she was right walking up to set, and it kept just going ding ding, and these hair hoops were dropping everywhere. But I have to say, it was a really standout moment, and obviously Christina kills it. She takes off the look so well. Oh, this was another favorite moment. This was the American Music Awards with Ariana Grande, and this was the first time that we did such a long full ponytail. So I'd worked with Ariana for a few times. We started doing the braids down the middle and up the sides, and we'd sometimes add the hair hoops to it. And on this particular one, we added this longer ponytail, which was just really full. And there was this moment where she swished her head on the red carpet, and it just looked amazing. It was just this kind of mane of hair flicking, and obviously, who looks better with a ponytail than Ariana? It was a really special night, very fun. And definitely goes down. This particular picture was my favorite, just that hair flicking around. You can't beat a good snatch ponytail with those extra inches. Oh my God, one of my favorites, J-Lo's Versace. I remember when J-Lo said she was gonna rewalk for Versace after all those years. Now, she started Google Images because that dress was so Googled, people wanted to see it. It was a really iconic moment, and obviously so many years later on, you want to make sure it's equally as iconic. So I remember seeing the dress. This was probably one of the most adrenaline experiences ever, because her walking out, no one knew she was going to be there. There was a lot of hush hush, but she walked out and absolutely killed that runway, looking better than ever. I was so proud of her, you know, and I think we were also, you know, excited and anxious, and there was so much cheering, and you know, you don't always get that at fashion shows. People can be quite serious, but there was a lot of fun, a lot of great energy. Fun fact about this one, just before J-Lo walked out, hair was actually much longer. It was bouncier and it was kind of down her back. And Donatella came in last minute and she's like, you know, Chris, I think we should cut the hair shorter. I think we should just cut it to here. And it was kind of down here. And she said, I think we should just cut it here. So Jen was literally walking to the runway, and I was literally cutting her hair as we were doing it. She's like, I mean, obviously that's the trust you have between a client and the hairstylist, but she's like, you know, we good? And I'm like, yeah, you look great. And it was kind of a shorter length. And in actual fact, it was a good call from Donatella, because it just had this beautiful bounce and it didn't take away from the dress. And sometimes you have to understand that, you know, if the dress is doing all the talking, you pull the hair back. So we kept it very clean off Jen's face, show off the beautiful face, but she had this kind of lovely flicky mane in the back, which had a great high shine, and she just killed it. Really, really an amazing moment from beginning to end. Kim's snake hair. Now this was fun. This was actually a trip to Mexico. So I cut out a snake print stencil and I basically applied it to the hair and I sprayed it and built it up using whites, greys and blacks. It was actually a really fun look, something I was super proud of, and it kind of definitely stopped when everyone was like, wow, snake print hair, what's next? Definitely a fun moment, and Kim's always up for creating, you know, a look, which I love about her, and always just pulls it off so well. Oh, Kim K blonde. This was a real kind of game changer in my hair career. Taking Kim blonde, I think people had seen Kim blonde before, but it was more golden. This was the first time that she'd had that real icy white platinum. It was for New York Fashion Week. She stepped out and I think everyone was just so shocked that her hair was so white, because they were like, was it a wig? How did you get it so white and it not snap off? It was a really slow process I did over a couple of weeks of bleaching the hair slowly, conditioning it in between, and I just didn't want to push the hair too hard, because if you push it too hard in one go, that's when you can get that really kind of damaged hair, as you know, bleached hair tends to be. So I really wanted to make sure we retained the condition, and her hair actually felt great. It was really strong. We kept the blonde for quite some time and had lots of fun with it. We did pink, we did red, we did lots of different colors on top of the blonde, and honestly I think it's about time Kim went back blonde. I love a good blonde Kim K. I think dark haired Kim K is very glamorous, but a blonde haired Kim K is just fun, kind of hot girl summer vibes. I just love the whole blonde era. It was a really, really fun moment. She was wearing wearing the Yeezy, it was all the different kind of pastel colors. It just looked so cool. But yeah, going blonde was a real full-time commitment. We did a lot of looking after it, and Kim is the best at looking after her hair. She followed every instruction, you know, she conditioned it. We didn't use too much heat on it. But I actually have a degree in color, and it was a lot of science behind how you can lift the hair that light and not push it too much. Because basically, once you lift the hair past white, it disintegrates. So you're really pushing the hair to the limits. You've got to make sure you do it the right way. So don't try this at home, kids. Last but not least, dun dun dun, J-Lo's Super Bowl hair. This was probably one of the best moments of my whole career. It was from beginning to end nerve-wracking. I remember just not sleeping the night before. I didn't sleep the night of. It was just so intense, and creating something that was just, I don't know, I just wanted to create something timeless, something that just looked as beautiful as she did on that stage. Everyone's like, how did it stay in place? And I think the secret to that is to just prep the hair a lot. I put a lot of products in the hair and I really build it off. It was really humid in Miami, which is always a nightmare because it just kind of makes everything collapse. So I really make sure that I built a lot of products into the hair to give it a great foundation. So it was almost like scaffolding, so it kind of held it up. A little fun fact about this one is we actually did a test the day before, which if it was going to rain, they basically said they would use that as the live performance because they couldn't do a performance in the rain. So I'd done 2 run-throughs with Jen, hair looked great, and then on the last run-through, which was going to be filmed, I curled her hair, and for some reason, when I took the curlers out, it was just extra curly. Now, I remember thinking I'm going to use a smaller curling iron for this one, just so it has some real hold and it doesn't drop. But I think because of the humidity and because I also set the hair using pins, when I took it out, it was just so curly. And I remember Jen saying to me, Chris, this is really curly. And I was like, yeah, don't worry, it's going to drop. So I'm brushing her hair frantically and it just was not dropping. Every time I brushed it, the curls just seemed to spring back into place. And I'm like, why? Why now? Of all times in my career, why now? Why go wrong now? And I remember frantically brushing her hair out. Anyway, off she did it. She went, and I remember looking at the big screens and I just saw these curls bouncing, 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 bouncing. I was like, she's gonna kill me. My manager walked in and I was like, that last take was amazing. Your hair looks so good. I think everyone loves to see bouncy hair. Me and Jen were like, no, on the day, it needs to not be that curly. Always great moments. I was with Jen just the other day and I remember we saw this picture and I was like, still my favorite. She's like, still your favorite? I was like, still my favorite moment. She just looks stunning from, you know, head to toe, and it was just such a magical event, full of love, full of excitement, full of laughter and adrenaline, and it was definitely a moment I'll always remember. So that's me done. Make sure you like and subscribe this video. Let me know in the comments what you think and what you guys want to see more of. I'll see you next time.